It's so beautiful out right now, and I love being outside when I'm just doing work, reflecting, all that jazz. I'm recording a video very impromptu right now. Luna's right over there in the sunshine, and I'm here working on my laptop, but also just wanted to record. I don't know how long it'll be. It's an introduction to a topic of digital well-being. I am teaching a course about the topic this fall. I wrote the book Digital Wellbeing. I'm sure if you've been watching the videos, you might be used to seeing me holding up this book. But jumping into it, I really wanted to talk with people as we're approaching October 10th, which is Global Mental Health Day. Yeah, it shouldn't just be a day, but the fact that there is a day that's signaled for world mental health focus, I think just underscores the importance of the topic. And as I'm talking about creativity and well-being and imagination, oh, there's a squirrel on the fence right behind me. I keep just reminding myself, which is related to this topic, does it mean to focus your thoughts and try really hard to achieve well-being, or does it mean to let yourself mind wander, let yourself be distracted sometimes, let ourselves be supple and human? You know, I keep sharing this quote, no mud, no lotus. What does it mean to get messy? What does it mean to get playful? So all of these are going to be part of the themes in the course that I'm teaching of a lot of different modules. And I might just impromptu record my thoughts from time to time, because sometimes I, like you, wait until the summative, the crescendo, the mic drop, the moment that we feel like we have it all figured out. And in the meantime, the world is moving and things are in motion. And sirens are blaring and things are happening. So we're alive in the world, and that's part of the point. In this introduction here, right now I'm scrolling through my syllabus, the overview of the class, and wanted to share that for me, when I begin to talk about digital well-being, I go internal and reflective. So if you're following along, I'm inviting all of us to think about the dynamism. What does it mean to have a construct of well-being where there's no failure, there's no shame, there might be a feeling of guilt, like that we have a negative relationship with technology. And I'd like to invite us, and myself too, to reframe that, and honor it, but also question, what does it mean to be in relationship with other humans, with ourselves, with nature, and with our devices. Right now I'm holding up a phone and I'm talking with you mediated by tech, and I don't want to overleap how that feels emotionally. And if I put my phone down and I walk in the other room, do I feel like I've lost a part of my body? Have I lost an extension of myself? How do I psychologically think about technology, which sounds obvious, but let's step back and really focus on that and think about it. Again, there is no failing. There's just trying to honor the physical body in relationship with different layers of technology and intention and choice. So as I'm looking at the beginning of how I would enter this conversation, it would be with you, to ask you about how you feel, even as you're listening to this video, and what thoughts are coming up. And if you have a journal, it's really nice to get some colorful pens. I have colorful pens all around me. Even right now as I'm outside, I'm just carrying colors. In part because it just lets my ideas flow onto a page where I'm not typing. So the beginning is some readings, and I can certainly share those with people who are interested. There's an article called Digital Wellbeing as a Dynamic Construct And there's also a talk that Richie Davidson gives. He has been part of Greater Good Science Center and part of different research at the University of Wisconsin. And Richie Davidson has this article, Technology of the Future Should Care for Our Well-Being. You know, what does it mean to be deliberate and be caring as designers, as people who are accessing the tech and people who are building it? And then I also put up this forum. People might have heard of the book called The Anxious Generation that came out by Jonathan Haidt last year. He gave a talk with Scott Galloway and Emma Lemke that was in New York City last year, and there's a forum where they all discuss the book and some of the topics. So those three pieces are part of entry, kind of this entry into a conversation, and I'm sharing it with all of us because I keep thinking about entries and thresholds and what it means to be, again, not either or, but what does it mean to be at the edge of something, a deeper conversation. One of my favorite poets is John O'Donohue, and he's an Irish poet, and he has a whole set of readings and topics that are about thresholds. You know, and the word thresh, which means to separate the grain. You know, what does it mean? I thought we'd get a view of Luna. Hi, Luna! Yeah, what does it mean to be at the edge? You know, at the edge of something as we're at the entry point, passing into a new topic, or literally going into a house. You know, there's a choice to enter, and threshold moments can also be expanding in different ways. So a lot of the topics that surround digital well-being are not about human versus machine, or this topic of are we expendable. You know, humans are special and biological by nature, and this emerging technology is so powerful and can be confusing. So yeah, demystifying, but also talking about the nuances is part of what I'm excited about. So thank you for being along for the ride and invited into the conversation. And this is a little bit of what I would call the intro to a deeper dive. Thank you. Have a great day.